们火候。 Quá rồi chết kìa. Auto né phát 2 ạ. đéo hiểu kiểu gì. Kẹt cái gốc cây cay.
天横九影，一果天星，箭在弦上，而不发。残巧一捉，又会。虚为深，受他的意志有多难？ 更
Bạn đã đến với video tiếp theo của Tiểu Văn Hóa TV. Thật chán nản khi bị loại khỏi trận derby, nhưng chuyện đã rồi, Man United thắng nên hãy tiếp tục. Thật đáng thất vọng, nhưng tôi cũng đủ kinh nghiệm để đối mặt với những điều thất vọng. Tôi sẽ làm gì với điều đó, ngồi khóc hay cố gắng hết sức ở lần tiếp theo ra sân? Rashford nói khi dự sự kiện tại một trường học ở Manchester hôm ngày 17 tháng 12. Là một cầu thủ có tầm ảnh hưởng trong giới trẻ ở thành phố này, chuyện tiến sĩ được tham dự những sự kiện kiểu vậy là rất thường xuyên. Nhưng rất có thể đây sẽ là lần cuối cùng họ được thấy anh phát biểu. Cả hai Rashford cũng đã không phải gia đình của gia đình. Rashford thế nào? Bạn có thấy bình luận tiêu cực nào của tôi về Manchester United? Đó là con người tôi. Nếu tôi biết rằng mình đã tồi tệ, tôi sẽ không làm cho nó tệ hơn. Tôi đã thấy cách mà các cầu thủ khác rời đi trong quá khứ và tôi không muốn trở thành như vậy. Tôi không cảm thấy bị hiểu lầm, nhưng ổn thôi. Tôi là người rất đơn giản. Tôi yêu bóng đá. Đó là cuộc sống của tôi từ khi bắt đầu. Tôi đã đi trong sự lựa chọn sự kiện. Cao của tôi tôi đang có những năm thi đấu và nó dạy cho tôi bắt đầu bóng đá. Người trẻ không có nào trong những năm qua không có tiếc nuối gì trong tương lai. Đã khi nhiều tồi tệ xảy ra, khi nhiều sự đẹp xảy ra, tôi cố gắng bằng hai thiên sĩ không có khô. Tôi đã đạt được một phần của nó. Tôi đang không ở vị thế như mong muốn. Nhưng vấn đề là khi bạn ở đó, bạn sẽ tạo ra một sự khác. Đó là một chu kỳ không bao giờ dừng lại. Thật ra không có điểm nào cả. Phát biểu của Rashford để đám đông của người sao nhìn vào những gì diễn ra trong tuần qua. Rashford loại khỏi xuất phát. Đây bị xem là một pha đối mặt. Ngoài tuổi tiền đá bóng của mình, nếu không chờ sự xuất sắc của Rashford coi như không ăn cũng có mặt được rồi. Ông cảm thấy chuyện này mà bỏ qua thì sẽ đi vào vết xe đổ của huấn luyện viên Erik ten Hag. Thế nên tân thuyền trưởng Man United đã có quyết định cứng rắn mà mấy đời tiền nhiệm không dám làm. Đó là xóa bỏ tên của Rashford khỏi đội hình, đến suất dự bị cũng chẳng được phép ngồi. Mà đó lại là trận derby Manchester, canh bạc của Amorim đã thắng quá lớn. Không cần Rashford, ông và các học trò vẫn đánh bại Man City tâm phục khẩu phục. Và quan trọng là từ cổ động viên cho đến các huyền thoại đều ủng hộ Amorim. Nếu vụ Ten Hag loại Cristiano Ronaldo còn có ý kiến trái chiều thì lần này tất cả tin rằng Amorim đã đúng. Lướt một vòng quanh mạng xã hội có thể thấy hầu hết các diễn là được cái này lâu lắm rồi. Khi đó huyền thoại ra đi Marcus Rashford và Ronaldo đã có quá nhiều bản thân. Đã bao nhiêu lần chúng ta nhìn thấy các cầu thủ không chạy chỗ tuần này qua tuần khác điểm cái cách này để kết thúc. Theo những gì tôi thấy chúng ta của tuần này sẽ gặp hai cầu thủ cần hơn cách tương tác. Chúng ta không có cái gì đã xảy ra để tăng thêm bánh hạt chung hy vọng nhưng tuyên bố đầu hàng này quá nhanh. Và chúng ta còn nhớ Rashford đầu tiên viên dần mặt bằng cách gọi đồng thời trong đó càng này mà bảo yêu mạnh phải xem lại. Vậy là 2 năm đó 10 rồi, tinh thần của Rashford đến quên đến những cái cách gặp khó khăn lần này. Đấu đến hoặc thật sự không cần phải nói, dần nhìn cầu thủ đá bóng thường xuyên phải ngồi chuẩn bị và vào sân là đá. Rashford thì sao? Là một bằng cú quẩy của em đến chơi rồi tuyên bố ra đi. Anh không quên kèm theo câu nói bị hiểu lầm. Cái văn hiểu lầm này quen lắm rồi chàng trai ạ. Mùa trước cũng có lần Rashford dùng câu nói này rồi và khẳng định luôn cống hiến 100% sức lực, tâm trí cho Man United. Nhưng cổ động viên nhìn vào thực tế trên sân chứ chẳng ai nhìn vào nỗ lực trên Instagram hay mấy bài phỏng vấn văn hoa trên báo chí. Chỉ cần gõ cụm từ Rashford lười biếng trên Google, bạn sẽ thấy cả tá bằng chứng từ mùa trước cho đến mùa này. Thế thì hiểu lầm cái gì? Bóng đá thời nay là câu chuyện của pressing, của tốc độ và quyết liệt. Rashford thì vẫn mãi đặt cách thẳng ra sau lưng không. Cựu tiền đạo Gabriel Abramo cũng từng đến Marcus Rashford vào tháng 9 cho rằng tân huấn luyện viên bạn này Abramo nhận định tiền đạo Rashford không phù hợp bạn lần đầu tiên cảm giác đó thế nào bạn ra sao bạn yêu việc chơi bóng như vậy thế nào bạn chơi bàn thắng bạn đã bạn không muốn đi vào những thay đổi của Jesse Lingard không? Huấn luyện viên Amorim đến Man United là để thành công, không phải để giữ lại những cầu thủ đã gắn bó quá lâu mà không còn đạt được đỉnh cao. Nếu không đáp ứng được yêu cầu, một số cầu thủ còn 6 tháng. Nếu không, loại rất có thể sẽ thêm tuần lễ cho cả Garnacho và Ramos. Với sơ đồ 3-4-3, có lẽ Garnacho, Ramos và Amad Diallo sẽ là những lựa chọn ưu tiên. Theo Totsport, Al Ittihad, đội bóng được dẫn dắt bởi cựu cầu thủ MU là Laurent Blanc, đang thể hiện sự quan tâm đến Rashford. Trong bối cảnh Karim Benzema có thể rời đội ngay trong mùa hè 2025, ban huấn luyện Al Ittihad xem Rashford là sự thay thế lý tưởng. Nếu quyết định gia nhập Al Ittihad, Rashford sẽ có cơ hội chơi cùng với những cựu sao Premier League như N'Golo Kante, Fabinho, Moussa Diaby hoặc có thể cả Benzema. Tuy nhiên, Al Ittihad vẫn chưa đưa ra đề nghị cho Rashford. Hiện tại, chân sút này còn hợp đồng 2028. Sau khi ký hợp đồng kéo dài 5 năm tại弦上，và đây là mà Rashford đã giá đầu của một cầu thủ tuổi lên tới 100 triệu bảng khi anh ghi 30 bàn ở mỗi chiến với một tháng là Rashford. Tuy nhiên, phong độ ra sút ở 320 và đang có kế hoạch chiêu mộ tiền đạo Vandal Colomuani của Paris Saint-Germain đầu sắp tới. Động thái đáng chú ý của huấn luyện viên Ben mặc dù Manchester United quả không ổn định, nhưng với kết quả quan trọng
因天命而来，有望他最是天命。
và thậm chí bị loại khỏi danh sách đấu điều 30 quan. Ấn tượng Pháp thấy khả năng của đạo người này đạo. Điều này càng khiến mang đến tin tưởng
人心一念，天地皆知。
bóng này cần một tiền đạo có khả năng tạo ra sự khác biệt và làm được cầu. Rashford coi luôn đã trở thành với năm
光鲜重
xuất hiện của một tiền đạo mạnh mạnh đỏ.
Mũ này mũ của Dương Tiễn à? Ừ. Con trùng cuối con gì đây? Má mẹ, toàn boss cuối ở mỗi chap ạ. Này chắc con boss cuối chắc là Ngộ Không rồi. À đâu, boss cuối là Nhị Lang.
Tí nước nữa. Theo the Grid Club. Đừng xài lung tung để mua đồ. Mình chưa xài đâu, cứ để đấy đã. Tại mình cũng chưa hiểu nó công dụng ấy. Không xài bừa bãi được. Ôi, đấm băng mẹ luôn. Con gì đấy? Hả? Con gì vậy? Ở đâu à?
扯什么天命天道，最好。我此身臭女郎一具，以之主外杀。
Quiver. Medium flash. Game này của 10 xu phải không? 10 xu là thật sao?
进前来，还请道爷一剑。破绽！爆！圣人不仁，以百姓为出口。跻身锋刃，谈何雄道？来吧！
Mấy quả Dark Fantasy này không dám chơi lâu sợ nghiện, không dứt ra được. Cũng đúng ha. Game này là công nhận dễ nghiện thật. Mà cái kiểu art style Dark Fantasy của nó đúng cái gu mình thích chứ. Ô con gì to thế? À đâu, vẫn cái con. Tombstone.
À, thật oan mạng. Vứt cái này đi. Nên vứt tầm ta. Vứt cái... Thôi, để về nhà bán đi. Con cuối là con gì đây?
PC chơi được hả?
Vãi!
Rồi.
Cái what the fuck?
Mở chính thức có reset lại early access không nhỉ? Hình như là không. Tí đánh boss ạc 1 mới vui á. Tức là sắp hết rồi á hả? Thế à? Đây có một cái dungeon. Anh dùng lại cái... Ồ, sao mình lại đổi thành cái cây từ bao giờ đấy? What the fuck? Ngáo mẹ rồi. Cái búa mình vứt vô hòm rồi à? Để cái game này mình cũng phải xóa khá khá. Lên trên là chỗ mở rồi. Passive.
这什么天变天道，最后不也一样大打杀杀，丑态百出？哈哈哈哈哈哈！一记万法归一，很强逞强。
Fuck.
Xuống đây chơi. Hình như là hardcore là chết một phát xong rồi nó tự động giảm mẹ độ khó luôn hay sao đúng không? Bạn đã chết trong hardcore, giờ chúng ta không cho bạn chơi hardcore nữa.
强两者不得其死。
Bó cái này lâu dài không ai không biết.
修道，来吧！来多少天命人，都照杀不误。为贪恋杀戮之日，只会害你。唯有失去，才
identify mà nó cũng không có tăng giá hơn bao nhiêu.
Not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but cheers.
Armor Baba. Thay cái này được à? À có nút compare mà trời.
胆何处得来？自然不肯放过我，来吧！
I don't know how to ask this of you, but I was forced to leave behind something of great importance to me when I fled. My lute. It was
Tôi
carved.
đã bỏ lại một cái thứ rất quan trọng đối với tôi, cây sáo. Nó được khắc bởi mẹ tôi khi mà bà ấy lần đầu tiên dạy tôi hát. Dùng cây sáo.
这什么天命天道，最后不也一样，打打杀杀，丑态百出。哈哈哈哈！我不。 哈哈哈哈！我在上。无尽之爱，请前来，再见道爷一剑。凭什么受罚的是我？ 可什么天命天道，最后不也一样大打 者不得其死。天命，今日一起破了吧！君子不欺，大道不移。 顿了，与你斗，还是这般费力反斗。这一把，方好。 我的更差。三昧神风，有未用也。风起，逆
自然不肯放过我，来吧！皇上，选吧！
扯什么天命天道，最后不也一样大胆？又相补，那你已经输了。
Oh, I did see this. In another black eye for Sony, LEGO Horizon Adventures debuts to even less players than Concord.
Wait. I know what you're thinking. Who cares about a Lego game? But this is no ordinary Lego game, as this was marketed as a multi-platform triple-A game for a declining IP, and being sold for the exorbitant price of €70 or $60. But here's the catch. The game wasn't made by the legendary Traveller's Tales studio, known for their Lego games. Instead, Sony commissioned this to Guerrilla Games, which is the studio that made Killzone, and Studio Gobo, which specializes in developing triple-A games. As you can see, the credits don't and even though even worse on Steam, where the game peaked at 150 peak players. This game was marketed as a triple-A and most likely netted sales.
not be more dire. More and more studios seem to be closing, original IPs are being scrapped mid-development.
Well, I mean, like, this is... the thing is that... I mean, bro, she was so... Why didn't they not... They really should have just made that go... Damn. That's... What the fuck? And so, anyway, I think that's because the studios were over hiring. They have a bunch of people in there. Like, this is a big problem that I think a lot of people in corporate have, is that they just bring in more and more people. Just more and more people.
见不了我的风，见不住我的钢叉。
Software increase their wages. The problem is that AAA Western gaming studios are infested with like 3 or 4 different types of rot that they seemingly can't get rid of, and it's killing their games. The fact is that Monster Hunter is going to be a AAA game, and it's going to be massively fucking successful. Path of Exile 2 is a AA game that is made.
得什么天命天道，最后这个力量，打打杀杀，丑态百出吧！
And market authorities report on AAA development.
And also, like, here's another thing. I'm gonna just say it. Like, you know who plays games like this? Guys play games like this. They do. Girls don't play games like this. Some do, sure. But this is mainly a guy game. And you need to stop putting girl boss characters in games that are made for men. Because there's a big difference. There are games that are made for men and games that are made for women. Every other form of media has this. So they keep this is part of the rot that the studios have.
神风刃，寒河兄道，来吧！
You know, it's like, you know, the whole George Lucas, why is he the richest director, right? But I don't know.
Overstretched and are now desperately facing the consequences. If their developers' huge projects don't make money immediately, they gotta go. Sega's sci-fi shooter super game Hyenas was in development at Creative Assembly for 7 years, and just as it was publicly playable,
well, this is again, like, I have to say, like, I mean, stop making characters. I will automatically because nobody wants that. Women don't want that, and
examples of the current AAA publishing call reflect a deep-rooted fear to engage with anything new and original. Publishers perhaps more risk-averse than ever to stray out of their established IP safety bars. But even well-known IP that could be worth millions in sales and revenue is being left to rot. Despite owning infamous Jak and Daxter,
please say Killzone.
Killzone, Resistance.
Yes! So fucking true.
And Sly recently claimed the company lacked IP to consolidate.
Yeah!
Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto Online.
Because
games which will continue
you
to
want to know why Fortnite is so popular? It's because it plays flawlessly. It is such a good game to play. It's good in the way that classic WoW is good.
Higher player counts than many of the best sellers of the last few years. But live service titles require investment of not just money, but also time to find their audience, neither of which was afforded to Firewalk Studios' Concord. The crew of Concord's North Star will never fly again. The recent fate of Concord's Firewalk Studios serves as a microcosm for the increasingly bleak outlook for the next few years in video game development.
I feel like a lot of these big gaming publications and gaming channels don't want to address the elephant in the room, which were the elephants in the character selection screen on Concord. No one wants to play, like, they don't want to do that. Nobody wants to play that. Like, it wasn't appealing at all. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Recognizing patterns. And I've seen patterns happen a lot where it's, oh, this game is like this, it has this feature, that means it's going to have a bunch of other garbage too. That's it. That's their focus. Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to see that in a game. I think that's weird. It's exhausting. Yeah, it's fucking weird. And so, like, the studios keep doing this, and like, I don't know how you can look at the releases of these games and the entire media space collectively saying, not collectively, obviously people disagree, right? But
不是我的更差。
Massive, overwhelming consumer sentiment doesn't matter. It fucking matters. It obviously fucking matters. Of course it matters.
Concord was Firewalk's first game, its baby in many ways. An 8-year development bolstered by a Sony acquisition and a reported cash injection of $200+ million. PlayStation reportedly believed it had the next Star Wars-esque franchise on its hands.
Yeah, they did.
But the game struggled significantly across both its beta testing period and launch, and was soon completely shut down by Sony just weeks after its release.
什么天变天道，最后也一样，打打杀杀，丑态百出。我此身臭女郎一举，一举。哈哈哈哈哈哈！
He said, we made the game really hard, so what we did is we just doubled all of the numbers. Like, okay, so, and then, because I beat Inferno before it got nerfed. I did. Did not beat it on hardcore like Caparian did, but I did beat it. It was totally broken garbage. There was desyncing issues. The game just functionally did not play well. And this is especially true with every other act besides Act 1. Because Act 1 was in the Diablo 3 beta, and none of the other acts were tested at all.
强两者不得其死。
Freeze award lists were littered with
今世锋刃，汉德修道，来吧！
unrelatable, weird social messaging that an average person wouldn't be able to appreciate or like. I think that's really the problem. It's a huge thing. And it's like, I don't see how you can, like, you have all of these points and they're making this perfect line, but you won't draw the line. You won't say, wow, what do all amount of time that you need to invest to maintain relevance in a live service game is like a small job. It's like you have to spend maybe 5 to 10 hours a day to maintain relevance and keep up with live service games. And because of that, guess what? A lot of people don't want to do it. Because, like, you're already invested. Like, this is one of the big problems that I think a lot of gacha games have now, is and they all require is it a problem? Like, why do we keep focusing on having like real known actors play characters in video games? Like, is this really, like, outside of a Kojima game, like, is this really anything that people care about? No, nobody gives a shit about this. Metaphor graphics are really bad, but style is overbearing. Yeah, well, Metaphor has, like, a weird dichotomy because all of its, like, hand-drawn art is, in my opinion, some of the best art that there is. It's fucking phenomenal. I love it. But the actual in-game graphics are fucking terrible. Yeah, like, in terms of, like, the fidelity. It's a lot like it's a lot like Elden Ring. It's like From Software? Yeah, exactly, right?
It feels like the top end of the video game industry is currently faced with two paths to choose from. The first is the status quo. It can continue to engorge on bigger budgets with impossibly open yet incredibly empty worlds filled with 80+ hours of content, about 10 of which have any meaning to its players, and or hopelessly pursue the live service train which left the station over 5 years ago with late passengers wondering why the money isn't rolling in anymore. These billion-dollar gambles could pay off, but it's seeming less and less likely every day. Conversely, companies could opt for a second path and take a page out of Julia Minamata, Billy Basso, and Zeeker's books. A wider breadth of projects, smaller in scope and scale, with a refined focus on gameplay mechanics, and perhaps a return to older styles of video games long dormant. Projects were developed—
I don't think that that's even what it is either. Because, like, Dragon's Dogma 2 and Elden Ring, and, like, a lot of games, like, it's not like the new style of games are bad. It's just that the new games are bad. Like, because all of these issues, like, think about what this guy's saying. Is Nintendo having this problem with Legend of Zelda? No. No, they're not. I mean, these are all problems that are coming from people that are like just Western studios. These are all Western studio problems. Nintendo will always make money? Yeah.
Developers aren't afraid to make weirder choices and take some unexpected left turns, lest they crash their $400 million ship into a mixed to decent reception and lackluster sales. Maybe studios, and more importantly publishers and shareholders, can remember that we used to play video games because they were fun, not because of their bigger than last year maps carpeted by denser, higher resolution grass that you walk across to finish another piece of side content that pushes you just one digit closer to that 100% completion.
This wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's a huge issue. A lot of people are tired of, completionism mechanics being put in. Concord with Sony. Yeah, Concord was a big mistake. But I also think that Concord was Sony making a game for Western audiences. I think that's what happened. And also, Sony owned the studio, but the studio that made it was a Western studio.
Plan.
No, it just wasn't the one we started with.
Speaking of which, congratulations, you've almost 100% of this video. What do you think needs changing in the games industry? Do you want bigger games or more games? Sound off in the comments below, and for everything gaming, you are already in the right place. IGN.
I think that another really big toxic thing that gamers have done is they've correlated the quality of a game to the amount of hours that they spend in the game, and the value of the game to the amount of hours they spend in the game. And I don't think that's a good way to look at it. There are a lot of games that I've spent very few hours in, and it was some of the best time that I've ever had. But there are other games that I've spent a lot of hours in, and it wasn't really that great. And so it's because of COVID? Well, maybe, right? But like, I think that this has always been the way that people have seen things. So there's been games that I've played a lot. I put a lot of hours in, but the game was pretty much dog shit. And so does that really mean that, like, did I have more of a good time with Starfield, or did I have a better time with Undertale? I had a better time with Undertale, even though I only played it for 6 hours. So that's what I think. And I feel like also, again, this problem is manifest in Western game studios way more than Eastern game studios. Shadow of the Colossus is a 4 to 6 hour game. It's amazing. Yeah, I haven't played it myself, but I'm not surprised. You're telling me $300 million mediocre games devoid of risk and bloated with microtransactions aren't a sustainable business model? Madness. Yeah, crazy. Imagine that. And it's not AAA bubble it has to burst. It's a live service bubble. No, it's the AAA bubble. It's the games have too much money. This is also the issue, is that games are the cost of games is going up like this, and then the amount of money that players will spend on games is like this. So as the costs go up exponentially, players still don't even want to spend $70 for a video game. Think about it. Think about how many things in 2005, because this is 2005, 2006, whenever the 360 came out and they moved up to $30 games, or $60 games, excuse me. How many things that you bought in 2006 or 7 are the same price now? Basically fucking nothing. Nothing is. And it's because gamers just don't have that much disposable income, and they don't want to spend that much money, right? So what's happened is that these developers have to find other ways to make money, and the way they do that is by selling early access to the game. They do it by having microtransactions in the game. And this would have happened as a natural outcome of a publicly traded company, but at the same time, the fact that gamers are unwilling to spend more money accelerated it. I'm spending $80, $90 on a new game before taxes? Well, I don't know. I mean, you're buying the deluxe edition then, right? Because, like, I bought video games recently, and they're $60, mainly. Like, most video games are $60. But I do think this is a very good video, and I also think that, again, a lot of companies, and, like, I think IGN and a lot of other platforms, they don't really want to address the elephant in the room, which is the fact that a lot of the messaging of these games are very overt, and they alienate gamers. But I don't think that they want to acknowledge that. And until they are willing to acknowledge it and say, like, listen, like, these are games made for guys, we have to make them appeal to guys, you're just going to keep losing. I actually think that it's over for Ubisoft.
Silence your critics.
I do. I think it might actually be over. Everybody's said I was crazy when I said it was going to happen on Twitter. They said I was delusional.
To your fans, double down on poor decisions, ignore feedback. What's that? This is a big bag of feedback. We don't need that.
Isn't that Chipotle?
And then virtue signal from your C-suite office. That is the Ubisoft plan for success. That's to get them right back on track. I am floored. I can't believe it. You know, everything that they've done, every action they've taken, everything that they have said has only dug their grave even deeper. At this point, they're just diving in, and honestly, I can't even really blame
The company
them.
is being run so badly that it makes me believe that there's some sort of, like, there was like an idea, a conspiracy, that the family that owns a lot of the shares of the company is intentionally tanking it so they can buy back more of the shares at a lower price. And it's so bad that it does make me believe maybe that's what's happening. Like, this is, how do you make this many mistakes in a row?
You know,
That's
I had
too
hoped
many.
that after all of the bad press surrounding Ubisoft, with the failed launch of Star Wars Outlaws, them pushing back Assassin's Creed Shadows,
Well, according to the press, Star Wars Outlaws was amazing.
that they would try to figure out ways to be able to trend in the right direction. And then I thought to myself, why would they do that? I mean, come on. Now we have industry analysts that are predicting that Ubisoft is going to go private and then sell off their biggest IPs. And to be honest with you, they're probably not very far off. A lot has happened with Ubisoft since we last talked about them. And at this point, their graceless downfall has turned into nothing but pure cinema.
The reason why a lot of people are happy to see Ubisoft like failing is because Ubisoft represents the rot that's been in gaming for years, and seeing them take an L means that gamers get a W because they have infested single-player games. Like, if you have a single-player game and it has microtransactions in it, you're like, fuck you. Like, it shouldn't be there. There's no reason. Suck a fucking dick. Absolutely not. We can talk about blue hair, SJWs, woke stuff all you want, but at the end of the day, the real things that are fucking annoying and actually offensive, it isn't the fact that they have they, them in the game. It's the fact that they have skins and power bonuses in a single fucking player game. That's 1,000 times worse.
Ubisoft, once a titan of the gaming industry, is now a cautionary tale of what happens when a company loses touch with its audience, its vision, and becomes so top-heavy that their only recourse is to squeeze their customers for all they're worth. This is a story that we have chronicled before. A company plagued by scandals, internal dysfunction, and creative stagnation. In my video, The Complete and Utter Collapse of Ubisoft, we retraced all of their obsessions with their annualized franchises like Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry. Once their crown jewels, now they're releasing by recycling mechanics, turning out uninspired titles, becoming increasingly more predatory with their monetization, and refusing to innovate. Ubisoft alienated their once loyal player base that can no longer stomach mediocrity. But the problems weren't just they were systemic. As I pointed out in Ubisoft,
I think it's creatively too. Like, these studios, this is what happened with Blizzard. There are some studios that it almost, you know what it's like? It's like you have a corpse and it gets reanimated, and it can only I don't know, like bring you your shoes or something like that. And other than that, it's like effectively dysfunctional. That's what's kind of happened.
Cost more than their worth. The company has been hemorrhaging money, losing key developers and chasing friends instead of setting them. They gambled on live service games and large projects that nobody asked for, seeking resources into games like the long-delayed Skull and Bones, a game that has now become an industry punchline. They lost it all on Star Wars Outlaws.
I don't understand how you could think Skull and Bones was good. I was going to play the game. They were going to, I was going to get sponsored to play Skull and Bones. And then I made like 2 videos that got like a lot of views that said that the game was bad. And I assumed that the developer was like, okay, well, we don't want to pay you anymore. But they still were going to. They were still going to pay me money. Like, didn't even care.
Only selling 1 million copies and then further embarrassing themselves with a release on Steam.
Yeah.
And they've closed the studio behind Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, arguably
this game,
the best game that they've had in recent times.
It was the most well-received game. a lot of people didn't like the way the character looked because they thought that it didn't look like a Persian. It looked like maybe like an African guy instead. That's, you know, it's up for debate. I didn't really care a whole lot about that, but other people did. The game actually was a good game.
They overcharged for it. Add to that workplace scandals and allegations of toxic leadership, and it's no surprise that Ubisoft has seen waves of talent departures and plummeting investor confidence. Despite the warning signs of their games failing to reach audiences, Ubisoft seemed unwilling or unable to change. They clung to outdated design philosophies and tone-deaf marketing strategies, prioritizing shareholder appeasement over player satisfaction while accomplishing nothing. Literally nothing. Pivot and regain their footing, spiraling into irrelevance. Fast forward to today, and the cracks in the foundation have split.
They just got too many games they're trying to bring out, man. Like, look at Rockstar, look at From Software, look at all the good companies, look at CD Projekt Red. Like, they're not releasing 3-5 games that are AAA a year. Who the fuck does that? You're spread way too thin.
About before are no longer cracks in their armor, they are gaping wounds.
Yeah.
Just recently, Ubisoft announced the closure of 2 studios, another devastating blow to their workforce and morale, and then there's...
That means he's still getting his bonus.
X-Defiant, a game that was supposed to show that Ubisoft can still compete in the realm of military shooters, instead becomes yet another entry in a growing list of failures.
See, they would have succeeded if they added Nicki Minaj as characters in X-Defiant that you could play, but unfortunately Ubisoft didn't want to get with the times.
Juice Van Buren, business professor and former CEO and co-founder of Super Data Research, a games marketing research company, suggested that Ubisoft is headed for privatization and dismantling in 2025. Saying,
anybody who thought this wasn't going to happen when you see the stock going like this, totally fucking believe it.
The share price is plummeting from $28.19 to $12.30 year over year. The company has become an attractive takeover target. Its value assets, particularly Rainbow Six Siege and the Assassin's Creed franchise, are easily more acceptable than together. Now, something I want to be crystal clear on is that Ubisoft is essentially powerless. In the videos that I had made previously, I was just basically stating that the Titanic had hit the iceberg. They were already taking on water. Their only options right now are to save their valuables and try to salvage what's left.
The only reason why their stock started going back up is that Tencent, there were rumors that Tencent was going to buy them. And like the dream that just maybe Tencent is going to go up to those lazy French fucks and be like, listen guys, you don't want to work, be lazy. Alright, you got it for making good reasons. No, that's what they thought. I guarantee you that's what they thought. Please no? What do you mean, please no? Tencent owns Grinding Gear Games. Tencent owns Riot. Tencent, they've made, under their rule, they've made a lot of good fucking games. We're not gonna do this China bad, China bad, China bad. Get the fuck out of here.
That's the position that they're in right now. You know, in a lot of cases, we talk about how difficult it is for some of these really top-heavy companies to be able to turn things around because it takes a while for them to do so, but we don't ever get to study a company that can't turn around. And that's the position that Ubisoft is in, and honestly, that's what makes this so fascinating. You know, when I made the video talking about how Ubisoft had lost more than their worth, truly, I meant it. They have had too many games that they've released that came out to subpar reception.
This is also a big issue that a lot of people really downplay. Brand value doesn't matter until it means everything. And I think that you've seen that happen with Ubisoft or Blizzard. Look at that. And like, for example, there were people that got, like, this is going to be kind of like a bit of a different thing. It's kind of emotional because I'm trying to think about this abstractly. You know, like, people that, like, got accused of, like, doing some kind of, like, creepy, weird shit with girls, and people didn't believe it because everybody knew this guy was a stand-up guy, and they're like, I'm not going to immediately believe this because I've watched this guy for a long time. I don't think that he would do that. And, like, that's really the difference, right? And so, like, you think Ubisoft IPs are too damaged? No, absolutely not. I think that if we heard that Ubisoft sold Assassin's Creed to Capcom, that would be a good day. That would be a good day. I would be happy about that day. That'd be good.
Failed completely, and they spent way too much money on it, and on top of that, the company has too many employees to support. Do people even understand that this company has over 20,000 employees working for them? They are bullshit.
It's only 19,000. No, it's 18,000. Probably by the time that this video gets uploaded, it'll be 17,000. Oh god. Jesus. 20,000 employees? For what?
Ask. When you're making as much money as they are right now, that is not enough to support that many people.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Assassin's Creed Shadows found success, let's say 5 million copies, that's a conventional success in gaming. That's not too bad. That would cover their development costs and marketing costs. And then outside of that, not really a whole lot else.
Yeah.
They would need a Baldur's Gate 3 or Elden Ring level of success. We're talking 10+ million copies sold for them to make a profit on this game, and then even still, it's not going to cover up any of the mistakes that they've made with their other games.
No, it's not. I mean, like, look at CD Projekt Red. Like, Cyberpunk, like, they had one L with Cyberpunk. Like, Witcher 3 was really, really well received. The DLC is considered some of the best DLC ever made. And then Cyberpunk comes out, it's really bad, but it improves, and people still are skeptical about CD Projekt Red. Even though, like, I bet Cyberpunk at its worst will still be better than Assassin's Creed, like Shadows, or like Star Wars Outlaws at its best. Like, think about how good Cyberpunk is now, or at least like whenever I played it. Think about how insanely fucking good that game is. And even that, people still are skeptical. Think about how long it took No Man's Sky to dig themselves out of that hole.
The money that they've invested into Skull and Bones or Star Wars Outlaws or anything else for that matter. And then keep in mind that their next games to release after this are much, much further down the road. We're talking years that they're going to have to survive on that money. Assassin's Creed Shadows is not going to sell that much.
No.
For Ubisoft to be able to patch the hole and get to
I think they could probably sell 5 million copies of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I do. I think there's a high probability of that. But the thing is, like, I don't even know if that would make the money back. If that would make the money back. 2 at best. No, like, Assassin's Creed is such a big IP, and there's going to be so much talk about the game. And also, it's set in feudal Japan, which is something that fans of